Yeah, just keep following the road.
But the road ends here.
All right.
You're
The situation
breaking
at the bank was contained in a relatively smooth fashion.
up. Oh my God.
So what did we learn from it?
When it's their money on the line, OCP will send RoboCop, the entire SWAT team, and a bunch of Ed 209s that actually work.
Anything else?
Wendell Antonowski no longer deals with the street vultures.
That's right. There's been a rift in their midst, and I want to know why.
Spike has proven to be talkative, under suitable conditions.
That's why I want you all to head to the city and do some actual police work. We need to find Spike. The attack on OCP Bank was a desperate move. I'm sure there's plenty of theories floating around. So we need to listen to what the streets are saying to find where the vultures are hiding.
I know someone versed in street talk.
Talk to him. And oh, I almost forgot. Murphy, once you're downtown, the old man wants to meet with you.
The old man himself? What an honor.
Yeah, he's the closest Detroit has to real-life royalty. Maybe for saving him all that money, he'll knight you or something.
Enough! Head downtown, ask around, and most importantly, find Spike.
RoboCop! Over here! You wouldn't want to make the mayor of Detroit wait, would you?
May I help you, Mr. Mayor?
Oh, it's me who's gonna do the helping. You know John Mills, I presume? The OCP puppet who's gunning for my seat as mayor? I've heard from a reliable source that he's planning to make you the highlight of his election bid. Judging by your expressive face, he hasn't talked to you about it yet, huh? That's what I figured. What a slimy bastard. Using your image to influence the good people of this city, and without your consent? That's clearly something that I would never do. But you know that I've always appreciated what you're doing for our city, right? So, the real question is, what are we gonna do about it together?
I will not let OCP take over this city.
I knew you'd understand. I need to go. Campaign season is busy, but let me leave you with one word of advice. Whatever you do, make it clear that you are not siding with Mills. You can be sure that they'll twist your every word and use it against you. That's what OCP does. Thanks for the talk, RoboCop. Say no to Delta City. Vote for the neighborhoods. Vote for Kuzak.
You two seem to be enjoying yourselves.
Just having a little fun with our fellow dispatcher.
Don't worry, I'm sure the kid has a sense of humor. It's just a little blue hazing. And he's an OCP stooge anyway.
You're not going soft on us, are you, Murphy?
That did not sound like fun.
It's not like he didn't deserve it.
You know that he runs to Becker with a stack of papers every time you two talk, right? He's a rat.
We're just looking out for you, Murphy.
RoboCop is getting a face-to-face with the old man himself? I'd tell him all about how the OCP is fucking us over.
No, you wouldn't. You wouldn't say a word if it actually... I call him delegated to protecting his dog.
What? How come this is the
Hey,
first time
Shiny.
I'm hearing this?
Got a job for
Mr.
you.
Ramirez, a licensed dog walker.
How are you feeling after the incident at the bank?
Who gives a shit? I heard that you're heading to the city. Once you're out there, I want you to check one apartment for me. There's suspicion of domestic terrorism and corporate espionage, so expect a warm welcome.
Should I assume hostility from the suspect?
I assume you'll find sensitive data there. Look for it thoroughly and make sure it comes straight back to my hands. Tenement across the street from the arcade, apartment 12. Now go, I've got to prepare for a meeting. And remember, if you won't take care of it, another cop will have to. Another cop that isn't quite as resistant to deadly surprises as you are.
Hey, you. The old man is waiting for you upstairs. This entrance to the building is off limits. You have to use the staircase. Doesn't matter. Just don't junk that needs recycling. The old man's waiting. So, it's true what they say. You do have some kind of defect.
Oh, it's good to see you, my boy. Leave us. I want to talk to him in private. You have to excuse me for not getting up. I'm in a rather unfortunate state. You did exceptional work at the bank. I want you to know that I am deeply grateful for your service to OCP and the city of Detroit. See, I grew up in this very apartment, or what's left of it. It used to be a thriving neighborhood. Nothing like what you see right now. I always dreamt of turning it into the most prosperous district in the city. A new heart of Detroit. Can you imagine? Or do you think it's just an old fool's pipe dream?
I agree with all city improvement plans that have the citizens' well-being in mind.
Glad to know you approve. Delta City's construction is about to start. Finally, the old and frail will be replaced with the new and strong. Decay and death are terrible things. You lose everything you worked for your entire life. But I don't have to tell you what that's like. It really makes me wonder, has the time you spent in that armor been a burden to you?
You cannot complain about the life that was granted to you.
That's very humble of you. The real reason I've summoned you here is because I'm worried. I'm aware of your instability problems, and it's not a matter that we can overlook. That's why I've requested to have people look after you. Tell me, how are you finding your evaluations with Dr. Blanche?
I am happy to comply with any activity that improves effectiveness.
You're a good sport. I can imagine it's not a pleasant experience, but I can't express how much I'd like you to keep at it. I'm sure that becoming a liability is the last thing you'd want. Am I right?
That is correct.
Now we've reached an understanding. Tell me, is there anything I could do to put your mind at ease?
My partner has been severely wounded and is being treated at Gibson Memorial Hospital.
I'll make sure she gets the best care there is.
Thank you.
I have to say, you brought a lot of hope into this old man's heart. Now, excuse me. I'm not supposed to exert myself too much. Doctor's orders. And you can't argue with them. Take care of yourself. After all, the peace of Detroit depends on your well-being.
Hey, Murphy, are you done with the old man's tea party?
Remember to get back in touch with your informer. See if he has any info that could get us back on the biker's lead. Spike is still out there.
OCP wants to raise towers of glass and steel? Go ahead. Just not where we live.
I'm sure I'm in the right place, but I can't see my FTO anywhere. Could I have his name, please? Over.
Sure thing. It's Officer Rat. He should be in one of the dumpsters. That's the only place he belongs, if you catch my drift. Over and out.
Right. So much for my field training.
Greetings. Waiting for the movie screening?
Just browsing to find which movie would most enhance my nuke experience.
Has working with the police not made you change your ways?
I need to keep up appearances. Otherwise, I wouldn't be much use as an informer, now would I? Nah, tell me. What's the next job for the police's finest duo?
I need information on Spike's whereabouts.
That SOB. I'll never forgive him for what he did to Briggs. Luckily, there ain't much left of the street vultures after the bank heist. They're probably laying low. But now you mention it, I heard about a biker who had a crash near the riverbank just behind the mart. So, your best bet is to check out the scene of the accident, or maybe hit up a nearby mechanic to see if they know anything.
You really want...
We owe him. But it's more about Daniel and Gale. And I think everyone will sleep better once those butchers are taken care of.
You really want justice for Briggs?
We owe him. But it's more about Daniel and Gale. And I think everyone will sleep better once those butchers are taken care of.
Any witnesses?
There's this crazy old bum who hangs out around there. He's nosy. Maybe he could help.
Are you positive that he escaped on the damaged motorcycle?
Not so much on it as with it. From what I gathered, the bike suffered more than just a dent. I'm guessing he must have dragged it to some nearby mechanic to get it back in shape. I think Ben's shop is the closest.
Thank you. You have given me all I need.
I know you're busy, but there's something that I need your help with.
I will not be involved in any illegal activity.
That's very presumptuous of you. I just need help finding a VHS tape in the rental place across the street. The title slipped my mind, and I assume you've got like a database or something in your head that'll make looking for it a breeze. So what do you say? Will you help me look for it?
If it helps you stay out of trouble, let us proceed.
Yeah, it'll solve all my problems. Let's go!
What are you looking for?
So there's this movie about a guy with a gun, and there's this bad guy who wants something. I'm pretty sure the title has some biblical reference in it.
You lack vital information on the subject.
Okay, let's start searching. Remember, the title has something to do with the Bible, saints, cosmos. Start by checking the thriller and drama sections.
Should we ask the owner?
Forget him. He has no idea about movies. He thinks that Salamanca deserved the Golden Piston for the Best Picture.
I heard that, and it did.
Garden of Earthly Delights?
Oh man, great movie. Very elegant. Panned by the critics though. But the director is a badass. He personally showed up to one of those ceremonies to accept the award for the worst movie of the year.
We do not need to bow to outside pressure.
Easier said than done, my man.
Diamonds are made under great pressure.
Wait, you think there's a diamond within me? Do you see my shine? I'm just messing with you. That was truly inspirational. But let's get back to it, because that's not our tape.
Kind Shepherd?
Love that one. You know, that movie could have never happened. The director threw out the script after reading a couple of pages. Thankfully, his wife picked it out of the trash, and after reading it, she forced her husband to give it another look.
Everyone deserves a second chance.
Do we? I'm not so sure about that.
Alex Murphy was given a second chance.
But I mean, you really deserved it. Which is something I couldn't say about a lot of people. Anyway, I don't want to spoil the mood, but that's not the tape we're looking for.
Nothing in thriller or drama.
Okay, how about you check in the sci-fi and action section? I'll have a look at horror.
Celestial Decay.
Classic. Still waiting for a sequel, but the guy who did that one has never made a part 2 in his career. But he said that if he ever did, he'd do a sequel to that one. How do you feel about that? Sequels, remakes, comic book adaptations, etc.
They tend to become imitations of themselves.
Hard to argue with that. There's been a lot of stinkers. Anyway, risking to sound like a broken record, that's not the tape we're looking for.
Eve's Flower.
Beautiful depiction of violence in that one.
Do you think violence can be beautiful?
It's just shown with a different sensibility to what we're used to. Maybe because the guy's European. You know how they are. It's different. It's cool, is all I'm saying.
Recognizing beauty in something ugly is a unique feature.
Doesn't pay the bills, though. Then again, I don't have bills to pay anyway.
You know movies. There is value in that.
Yep. There's nothing better than a good movie. But we're still missing our tape. Hey, I think I found it. I messed up the title a little. It's called Me, Sire. But here it is. Isn't that the tape we're looking for? Tape? What? What tape? You like movies? Do you want to shoot an action movie? I think I'll wait till it comes out on VHS. Lights, camera, action! Crap! Crap! I need a hand over here!
Do you need assistance?
It's that metal devil!
first, I hear a bunch of movie puns.
Where is Pickles?
He ran out the back door.
Where will I find him?
I don't know. But homeless or not, you still have to give an address to get a membership card. Try the computer. Maybe you'll find something there. Who's gonna pay for all this?
You're all right.
Talk.
I overheard some torchheads saying that they were running away from the cops and went through that video store. They had a wad of drug money on them and didn't want the cops taking it, So they hid it in one of the VHS cases. I misheard the title, so I needed help.
That is not the kind of help I was willing to provide.
Come on, give me a break. I fucked up, I know. And I get that you're on a mission to save my life or something. With all that great advice of yours, diamonds are made under great pressure. I'm not a fucking diamond, okay? I'm a junkie. There's just one thing that I need right now.
Which is?
All I need right now is a fix. So, let me keep the money. You won't hear me asking about anything else.
Are you asking a police officer to leave you with money from nuke distribution?
I know you're a police officer first, but can't you be a friend this one fucking time?
I am not doing this as a police officer. I am doing it as a friend. Hand over the case.
You can't do this to me, man.
I just did.
Fuck you, Tin Man. I earned that money fair and square.
Greetings, citizen.
Ah, the best cop in the hood is back. How can I be of service?
I am here in regards to a fugitive.
Oh, damn. What is wrong with this thing? I need to get that car down, or God knows what might happen. Can you help me out with this? It's new and I don't know where I put the manual.
Stand back.
Go on then. Let's see how it's done. I thought you knew how to bring that car down. Can't be that hard. It doesn't start. Pop the hood. So, do you know what the problem is?
The coil has been disconnected.
That would explain the car not starting.
Spark plugs are not the main culprit. There is no power. I detected an electric current inside the cooling tank. I recommend grounding it to fix the problem, but I am sure that you knew about that already.
What? I mean, I would never miss such a thing.
Battery's fine, stable, above 12 volts.
That's one thing checked off then. I'm guessing it's an easy fix. It started. We're on the money. Well done, RoboCop. You are one serious Swiss Army man.
I am best at catching criminals. I should get back to it.
You said earlier you were looking for someone.
A biker. Have you repaired any motorcycles recently?
As a matter of fact, I did. This big, chunky guy showed up. Bald head, big ears, and spiky beard. Wasn't really warm and cuddly, but he paid cash in advance. So why would I refuse?
Do you know the whereabouts of this individual?
I don't, but he asked me if I do paint jobs too, then showed me a ripped-out page that had a tattoo design on it. He asked me to spray a mean-looking bird onto his gas tank.
Why do you think the design was intended for a tattoo?
The page he handed me had other graphics, which were clearly tattoo designs. And, as far as I remember, it had the address of a tattoo parlor that's close by printed on the bottom of the page.
Why do you think the design was intended for a tattoo?
The page he handed me had other graphics, which were clearly tattoo designs. And, as far as I remember, it had the address of a tattoo parlor that's close by printed on the bottom of the page.
Why do you think the design was intended for a tattoo?
The page he handed me had other graphics, which were clearly tattoo designs. And, as far as I remember, it had the address of a tattoo parlor that's close by printed on the bottom of the page.
Why do you think the design was intended for a tattoo?
The page he handed me had other graphics, which were clearly tattoo designs. And, as far as I remember, it had the address of a tattoo parlor that's close by printed on the bottom of the page.
Why do you think the design was intended for a tattoo?
The page he handed me had other graphics, which were clearly tattoo designs. And, as far as I remember, it had the address of a tattoo parlor that's close by printed on the bottom of the page.
Why do you think the design was intended for a tattoo?
The page he handed me had other graphics, which were clearly tattoo designs. And, as far as I remember, it had the address of a tattoo parlor that's close by printed on the bottom of the page.
Why do you think the design was intended for a tattoo?
The page he handed me had other graphics, which were clearly tattoo designs. And, as far as I remember, it had the address of a tattoo parlor that's close by printed on the bottom of the page.
Why do you think the design was intended for a tattoo?
The page he handed me had other graphics, which were clearly tattoo designs. And, as far as I remember, it had the address of a tattoo parlor that's close by printed on the bottom of the page.
Why do you think the design was intended for a tattoo?
The page he handed me had other graphics, which were clearly tattoo designs. And, as far as I remember, it had the address of a tattoo parlor that's close by printed on the bottom of the page.
What was the design you sprayed onto his motorcycle?
It was some sort of bird, but I don't know what it's called. I'm not a botanist. But it had a bald head.
What was the design you sprayed onto it?
It was...
Why do you think
the page he handed Anne?
Thank you for the information. Proceeding to the tattoo parlor.
PlayStation